Hey, what's up? I was planning to wait at least a week before making a video like this in response to the time travel question. But I've been thinking about it since my one reply so far, which is it's fine. I'm surprised I got one, so that's cool. I'm used to that. It's whatever. But I've been thinking about it. I was like, my first reaction when I thought I read this, and I was like, well, of course I'd want to save lives. So, yeah, save people, right? Go if you could travel to. What would you do if you could travel through time, right? Save lives. Well, yeah, right, right. Like, but yeah, for me, so I oversimplify everything. It's because when it comes down to it, to me, that's what it is. It is the here's the simple thing. For example, wages. It's the most simple thing. Just the most obvious damn answer. There are little details, but anyways. So yeah, if I was rich, I would be able to save lives. I think, pretty sure. That's what I would use my money for. Besides, not like, just I would, help people. If I was rich, I would help people. One of the simplest ways to put that too, oversimplified. I would give people money for real. But I think a part of that, something I have thought about over the past couple of years too. I was like, because I've seen it. It's nuts to see. I'll let me get into the thing here because that is just way too funny. Maybe you've seen it too. There have been parodies. It's been made fun of, and I had forgotten about it. But like MSM news reporters and stuff like that, and like there have been times where these people, these TV hosts, will talk about the prices of things in stores, and they'll say the stupidest things, like like when they ask the celebrities or rich people how much they think something costs, and they say and they say something like some outrageous price that makes no sense because they have no clue what it's like to actually deal with money. They don't know what it's like to deal with money. They just have it and can buy anything at any point, whatever. So it's just funny. It's funny. So one thing I've thought about with that is like you would have to know what it's like to really actually be poor, not role playing it, not because there are wealthy and rich people that will work normal jobs, but they don't know what it's like to survive, to exist, to merely exist, because of that limitation. They have no idea. And even if they try, they wouldn't know. They literally have to have nothing to understand. For real. Anyways, I forget what I was. Oh yeah, so that's I mean that's how I think of it as far as like being rich. Um, Imagine, I could not possibly imagine like having a regular income of $1 billion a year. $1 billion a year. Um, I couldn't even imagine a million or 50,000 a year. Not even that. And I think right now, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't. I have no damn idea. Um. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I would do if I was rich and I had like a regular just flow of money incoming nonstop. I wouldn't have it. I wouldn't keep it. I wouldn't. What would I do with it? The hell would you do with that? Because you would be able to afford to literally do anything you want, anytime, go anywhere you want, at any time, without ever worrying about it, as well as having just all this just fake money, and you just have it, right? And like I don't know, the whole thing is just weird to me, man. Especially when I you know have that perspective on it as well, as money's always been fake, but it is a system we live in. That's a fact. That's an unavoidable reality that people want to pretend isn't. Stupid mother freaking idiots. Um, So you know, and then you get into the whole like, oh, grow your own food and this and that and whatever. Anyways, so yeah, and also another thought of mine, as far as going back in time, to help whatever. One man, I was like, dude, so yeah, I mean, I miss my mom. I would bring her back, oh, for sure, for sure. But also, when I think about that, when I think about something like that, if you were able to just go back in time and fix like death, right? Um, I don't know. It makes me think of that Rick and Morty episode when Morty kills himself over and over. He keeps resetting. He keeps resetting his life. He does all this really stupid stuff, and he doesn't know what he's doing. Though he thinks he's just rewinding time because Rick. It's great, man. It's great. It's nuts. Morty thinks he's just rewinding time, but he's actually killing alternate versions of himself in like multiple, you know, alternate realities or whatever. It's pretty funny. Why was this? What made me think of that? Damn it. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. If I mean, it would have to be normal to you, right? It's normal to me. If I knew I was able to go back in time to bring someone back to life, wouldn't it make death kind of like you wouldn't care? I don't know. It's weird. Like if you could just bring anybody back at any time, um, kind of. Well, I don't know. I don't. It's just weird. It's a weird. Um, yeah. One thing I would do, for sure too, is I would make sure I knew a whole lot long ago just how bad and evil the power system really is. I, you know, could recognize a lot of stupid bullcrap, but I didn't know how deep it all really was, man. Like, are you kidding? Anyways, so I would have been more prepared for some things. Not, I mean, just look up my video. I'll link it. My video about my mom's death. I've been thinking about talking about that again and don't want to. I whatever. Anyways, trust the experts. I'm a damned fool, man. So anyways, yeah, so as far as like traveling through time, for sure would want to save people, you know. I think of it more of like helping people because um one thing I've thought about too is like, you know, if I were to go back in time and whatever, I wouldn't be surprised if I actually just got stuck in that timeline. Not stuck, trapped, but like wanted to stay. I have no doubt. I would probably be like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay here. This is great. Because like initially, my first thought would be like, I'm gonna go back in time, make sure that we're gonna be rich, and then come back here, right? Kind of, and whatever, right? Like right. So I don't even know how that would work. You know, the whole Back to the Future type thing. But yeah, no, I would probably just stay though. Probably wouldn't even have this timeline anymore. I wouldn't even be this me and be like, I don't know, it's weird, right? It's just like what? It's funny, but that's that. Oh man. Anyways, yeah. So of course to save, you know, whatever. But yeah, and I'm like when I read that too, I was like, my part of my first few thoughts because I had it all. I was like, yeah, you know, but was like, oh, I realized, I was like, oh, somebody could have seen that as me being selfish, and I'm like, I don't care. I do not care. But I was like, yeah, no. I mean, I've always thought about what I would do to help people if I was rich. Always. So I don't try. I something I thought about too recently is like, I'm not trying to make it sound like money is the god. It is for society because it is literally how we live. Um, but no, I don't think I hate money, man. I hate it. I despise it. It's fake. That's why it's fake. It's literally fake. It's not real. It's an idea on a piece of paper. And the idea is this piece of paper is worth something, and you have to have this in order to take our goods. And that's another thing too. Like the other system would be trading, right? Which I don't care. So I get why money exists. Okay, I do. It makes sense. It does. It makes sense as a system, but it's exploited to insanity. Okay, insanity. How can anybody accept a $13 an hour wage right now, man? Even 20 in our economy is not enough. I said it, whatever. At minimum $30, man. And whatever. As people will get into inflation, but inflation, like all they literally do is keep raising prices on everything our entire fucking life, while our wages don't go up. And you're over here like inflation, because they tell you that. They tell you that the people that are paying us fucking tell us they can't pay us more while they fucking rob us blind. Okay, sure, buddy. Anyways, whatever. That I did kind of, I don't know. I'm thinking of the way other people put it, because I don't know why you can't just see that with the cost of living, that $13 an hour doesn't make sense. The cost of existing, the cost of being alive. All right. Anyways, so I'm done now. I thought that was interesting because I was like, yeah, no, of course I would. That's what I would use my money for. And I don't think of like raising people from the dead with the money, but just helping people in life. I did think about it. I was like, man, maybe I could go back and like make sure that kind of system doesn't exist, but I wouldn't even know where to start mine, right? Again, because I don't, I understand like why money is used, right? It is a system of trade. It is. Um, our time for, yeah. Anyways, yeah, but because you right, like I don't know, you go back in time to a certain point and you're like, you just make yourself a god, right? Because you know all the stuff from thousands of years in the future. Right, like oh man, let's just, I don't know, it's a funny thought. I wouldn't want to do, I would not make myself but god, or I wouldn't, I couldn't, I couldn't do that, man. Like, oh my gosh, wow. All right, well, I'll see if I have more thoughts on this later. Bye bye.